No.
We're live. We're live. Oh, I get a new message here though. It says it like in a box. Hi everyone.
We're on.
We're on. Happy October.
Happy October.
Just barely. We're just coming right in at the end of October.
I know.
Sliding into home plate.
I can't believe how fast everything went. I love Halloween, so I'm sad that it's going to be over.
Yeah. Are you going out with Honey or anything?
No, but Honey has a costume. She's going to be a bee, a bumblebee.
A honeybee.
Yeah, honeybee. And we're going to stay home and watch movies, but
what's the baby going to be?
I don't know yet. She hasn't told us.
Oh my gosh. Maybe they'll come to the door and surprise you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Babies in Halloween costumes are the cutest thing. I think
those
are the cutest costumes because the baby's just like and falls over. They don't move or do anything. They're just so funny. They're just stuck doing what you put them in. I think the cutest one I've ever seen is an octopus, a baby in an octopus costume. It was so cute. Oh my gosh. I don't know. We had a clown outfit and a pumpkin for the kids. I'm trying to think what else, because they were both born so close to Halloween. They were way too young their first year to go out, so we put them in little costumes, to answer the door. But
that's so cute. Are you doing anything for Halloween?
No, I mean, Kaden and Faith are going to a party tonight, but they're big kids now, so they go to drink parties. So they're spending the night out, and where we live we don't have anyone walking around doing trick-or-treat, so because the houses are like a mile apart. So
yeah, that's how it is here too, so I doubt we'll have anybody.
Yeah, no one will come by. So plus David and I will have eaten all the candy, so there's no hope for anybody. So.
Jen says your outfit is so cute, Victoria.
Oh, this is my Fight Like a Girl in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Thank you. That's my little, I bought this shirt for myself as a 1-year anniversary present last year. My survivor. It was now I'm at 2 years. 2 years. So
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I had another crappy scare this past month, but I had to go get an MRI because I had a lump in my armpit, and it turned out to be nothing, thank God. But scary enough, I know, scary enough that my oncologist sent me for an MRI. So, oh God, it's going to be like that. I just think that's how it goes now. I don't know. Every little, what was that? What is that? What is that? So, yeah, I don't know. We're all going gray over this. Everyone in my house.
That must be so hard. I'm sorry you have to deal with that.
Well, it was hurting, and that's what kind of caught my attention, because I'm not like obsessing where I'm just laying there, feeling all the time, but it was hurting it, and I pressed on, I'm like, and that is the cancer side. I'm like, what is that? What is that? And then I was like, and I happened to have an appointment already scheduled with my breast surgeon oncologist, and so I showed it to her, and she couldn't really feel anything in the office, but she said, let's just do the MRI and make sure, because I could keep feeling it.
Yeah,
I didn't feel it that day that I saw her, but I felt it after that. So I don't know what makes lymph nodes get bigger and smaller,
Yeah,
I think hormones, or if you're not feeling well, different things. But
so are they going to do anything with it, or it's just going to stay?
Well, I still feel it, so that's what I have another appointment this coming week with my radiation oncologist, and I'm going to talk to her about it. They're all one big team, and I'm going to talk to her about it and see what her thoughts are, because it says all of the report of the MRI says it's talking about my breast. It's not talking about the armpit or lymph nodes. And so I don't know if when they say breast that they're encompassing all that, or if they didn't look. I don't know. So
yeah,
I had a little bit of an issue with the MRI, Megan, because I was moving around. They said stop breathing.
And it's like a long thing, right? How can you stop breathing?
I don't know. Yeah, it was like over an hour thing. And what do you mean stop breathing? I don't get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was breathing as little as possible. I just don't understand. I don't know. They maybe sedate you. I don't know. So you're breathing very shallowly. But
I'm getting my 2 MRIs Tuesday.
Oh boy.
They finally, it's all
stick your head in, or what are they gonna
I don't know. I have no idea what it's going to be like.
I don't think I've ever had it, or just my head.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous, but I guess it'll be okay.
And think by the end of it, then you'll know what's going on. So that's the reason, like, you're going to get through it so you can get an answer.
Yeah.
Megan's been having chronic mouth pain with no reason why. Nobody can find the reason why. Like toothache pain, but not a tooth. So
yeah, it's been lots of fun over here for the last month. I've been venting to Victoria and Amy all the time about how upset I am over it.
It's frustrating when you're in pain all the time.
Yeah.
No fun. So
it really is. Okay, well, our mystery author is in the room, so I will go ahead and introduce her and we'll see if anyone can guess. Tonight's author is a USA Today bestselling author and a 2-time breast cancer survivor who promises an emotional ride on heated sheets. Though she's had a lifelong love affair with peanut butter, her true loves are her husband and 2 children who have survived her SEAs, spontaneous explosions of affection, and live to tell the tale. She shares her love of happy ever afters through her connected series, including Cape Van Buren, Scripted for Love, International Temptation, and Seattle Crush, and one nonfiction title, Not Your Usual Boob.
I know it is.
Please welcome MK Meredith. I like the little moments while we're waiting until.
Here she is.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Look at you, gorgeous.
Well, you know, it is wonderful. What a little red
lipstick. That's what Megan said.
Oh my gosh, every time I just put lipstick on.
Oh my gosh, Megan, you and I could match almost. Mine aren't quite as fancy, but when I want to become smart, just can't see.
I love the dramatic side part. I love it. It's so deep.
Thank you. It is very deep.
Oh, yeah.
But that is also because I have a high hairline.
Yeah, you do.
So
it's good.
It thinks. So I wear it like this a lot because my hairline goes like back on the sides and then it comes down here. So
like a real widow's peak, like really severe, or just lower there?
It's like just rounded, but it goes back, like pulls back on the sides up here. You know, and my hair back in a straight ponytail a lot too, but this is my definite go-to, whether I have it down or in a ponytail or whatever.
Yeah. Have you always worn it like that to the side?
I mean, when I started kind of figuring out my MK Meredith is, you know, a woman who likes to wear heels and dress up and out of my teenage tomboy stuff.
Yeah.
That's when I kind of found it. When I was in high school, I had a very, very awkward stage. And I had like major bangs, but then I also, you know, high school was the 80s and 90s. So I had the big hair.
Oh yeah.
Where, you know, if you pull a piece, all of it would move with it.
Did you use Aquanet? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I hear you. I know Aquanet. I don't know. Did you guys have Aquanet out here on the West Coast, Megan?
No, I never used it. I've heard of it.
Yeah, I think that was an East Coast phenomenon.
Really? I don't know.
Aren't you?
What?
Is Megan too young?
Yeah, but still, I mean, I didn't know if it was, you know, around even, like, because it's still on the shelves now.
I just can't imagine who uses it, but it's
right. Crazy.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
What? I'm good, and I love your sweater. I love with the
yeah, it has the
look.
That's my I bought this for myself. It was my anniversary present last year for my 1-year survivor. So I wore it today because tomorrow is my anniversary date of finding out. And so there it is. So
well, I am so happy that you're here and that you are thriving and you so deserve the sweater.
Well, I'll tell all of the people that are joining us tonight. MK was one of the first people, and then through my whole journey, definitely a mentor and got me through some of the worst days of my life. And I had nobody. I didn't have sisters or my mom or anyone that I knew in my family or close friends that had been through breast cancer, and I knew MK from the writing world, and then seeing all of her stuff with her book. And I think I just reached out to you and just started bombing you with questions. Somebody help me, please. Yeah. And so you and Elle Boone and Lauren Rowe, and then Libby, also Barnesfield from our group. That was it. Those were my people. And you definitely need a network.
Yeah, you do. Find your tribe. I mean, for anything you do, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Find the people that lift you up, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I was there anytime you need me. So,
I thought of you so much. The one day I was walking by the mirror and I was like, what is that? I had the same thing and I saw it and I was like, no. And I had to go back. I had to ultrasound the whole thing, and it turned out to be nothing, thank God.
good.
And they're like, this is just your new landscape. Just, you have to get used to it, because it's just like a fatty deposit on top of the implant. It just settled in there and it's still there. I look at it all the time, like, ooh, just wanted to.
But I think it's so important that, like they said, it's your new landscape, but now you have to learn it. So
Right.
that if anything is different, to go get it checked.
Yeah. But I just remember reading that in your book, and I was like, this is going to be like every day. I'm going to be fine and I'm going to freak out. And I just want to stop freaking out. It's been 2 years. I want to stop freaking out now.
You, I think, will continue to have moments of concern, just because the reality is that if there are certain things that until you get them confirmed, you're always going to fear that it could be something.
Right.
But I think that the intensity of that fear does calm down, because as that happens and you go and it's fine, then you're like, okay, it's probably going to be fine, but I'm going to be smart about this and go get it double checked.
Right.
And I the second time I had it, I thought it was going to be that. I even told our writing world, I'm like, it's just going to be scar tissue.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it's not. However, because I went, it hadn't gone anywhere. It was very located right in that area, so they got it. And that's why you don't mess around. Let the fear get you to the doctor so that you can get confirmed that you're fine. But I hate that you have to have that fear at all. So I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate that. I hate that anybody has that fear. I want to say too, I should have said this in the way beginning. We lost 2 women in our group this month, passed away. And my heart is broken for their families and their husbands and their children they've left behind. And both of them were cancer. And I don't know if it was breast cancer. I know the one was not. And one may have been, I'm not really sure. But gosh, so heartbreaking. There's still so many people succumbing to this monster, while so many of us get to walk right out of there. And I don't know, it's weird. There's a level of guilt. I don't even know how to say that, but I feel like I got off easy. You know what I mean? I got off easy. I didn't do chemo. I did radiation. I did the surgery and stuff. And then you see these other women and it's like, I don't know. It makes me feel guilty. Maybe it's a Catholic in me from growing up. I don't know.
It's funny. My MK stands for Mary Karen, and I'm named after Sister Mary Karen.
Yeah.
She was a nun in Waterford, and then my mom and both my grandmothers. So really covered all these wonderful, amazing, strong women in my life. But so I know that I understand that Catholic guilt, but that survivor guilt,
yeah,
it's definitely there. But honestly, the hard thing is that case to case, moment to moment, it changes and it's different. And, depending on when things are found and where they're at, all makes a difference. But then the hard truth, and I hate saying this because I do want that fear of yours to subside someday, but the hard truth is you never know. And we always have to get it checked. And even though we are here and we are okay, every cough, ache, pain, everything needs to be double checked, because it could be something, it's
right.
Once it's there, I remember when I was going through my first treatment for it, they called it hibernating bears, saying that when the tumor's growing, little cells can break off and just kind of go through your system, settle in and kind of hibernate.
Right.
And you just never know if they're going to be triggered, and if so, where, and the hope is that they don't.
Right. Did you ever have a PET scan afterwards, like your whole body?
I'm trying to think. I've had one big major scan, and I remember but it was at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I remember kind of freaking out because
I'd
there's
be
like,
terrified. Yeah, I haven't done it.
because they're like, there's a lesion on your liver and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like this thickening on your adrenal gland. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what is that? What is spots on my lungs?
Yeah.
I'm like, what, and it ended up being, for them, not a big deal because they were just traumas. Like the spots on my lungs were from a bad bronchitis, and that it would eventually, resolve itself.
Right.
I forget what they said, the liver and adrenal were. I remember with the liver, they're like, just go get it checked eventually, which shamefully I never did because I just got so caught up with the treatment and everything that went along with that.
Right.
But that's I haven't had another one of those. They haven't been concerned to do that. I have had a few bone density. Those I have to do, and I have to do another one because now apparently I have the bones of like a 60-year-old because of the treatment.
Are you taking tamoxifen now?
Oh, thank goodness. No, I say that's not fair because thank goodness for tamoxifen for a lot of people. I just had really bad side. It was.
Oh, tell me. I hate it.
Yeah. But I was on it the first time. And then when the breast cancer came back, the second time when they cut out the skin, because I had the mastectomy and everything else, but it was just the cell left behind in the skin that, did its thing. They took my ovaries. And so tamoxifen is before menopause. And so I'm on aromasin, an aromatase inhibitor, to block any extra estrogen that abdominal fat or adrenal glands make.
Yeah.
And as postmenopausal. So on that. It's funny because I was at a work meeting yesterday and we were doing something and I had a hot flash and I forget they had said something and I'm like, it's even worse for, us postmenopausal women or being postmenopausal, because I was in a group of women that were, for the most part, in their 50s.
Right.
And they started laughing. They're like, what are you talking about?
You don't even know.
You're not post-me. I'm like, yeah.
I am actually.
Yes. So, yeah. So I was on tamoxifen, but not anymore.
That is some poisonous stuff, man.
It's hard. That's the hard thing with so many medications is we're so lucky we have them, but there's only so much refinement to where it's kind of cell,
right?
And those cells are also in different parts of your body. Then as it's taking care of this cancer, it might be hurting,
right?
Not meaning to, collateral damage. And that's the hard truth. And our medicine tries.
I always say, like, while I'm sprouting a second head and they're both spitting flames at my family, at least I'm alive. Yeah, because I keep having those moments happen. Yeah.
I understand.
And we're counting. We're like 2 years down, 3 to go.
Yes.
Actually, they told me originally 10 years on tamoxifen. I'm like, really? Are you sure? So we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping he cuts it down to 5 when we get there, but he said we'll reassess at 5.
So
the tumor was way bigger than they thought, and then that made it way closer to the margin. I should have had the nipple removed, and maybe that one where they bring the skin up from the tummy, but I didn't have that because they didn't know it was that close. So
gotcha.
We'll see. That's what put me on the 10-year plan and the radiation. So
I had the deep flap the second time.
Oh, bad, huh?
It's a big one. I always hesitate. Like, I never want to, scare people or anything else.
Yeah.
But you want to be honest, and just honestly, it's a big one. I only had it on one side, and I had to get it because the radiation from the second time caused contracture and encapsulation. So the left one, that's like on the cover of my book, that left one was like hard as a rock.
Yeah.
And it was moving in like midline and up. And the thing with contractures is once you have that tissue, even if they go and clean it out and like put in a new implant, that contracture will stay or come back most of the time.
Right.
So like a percentage of the time where they're like, you're going to be in here in a few months or in a year, again.
Right.
So they had to do the deep flap because that allowed them just to remove all of that.
Right.
And rebuild it.
So you got the better end result. It's just a little brutal.
It is, right.
You have the belly. Now you have a belly incision for the girls that are all listening. You get your Beth best in our group had this one done right after I had mine done. And you have your belly cut open so you get fat and skin from there, and you get a new boob made out of that.
Yep.
So, I
And
mean,
it gets under your skin, so you can't even tell, like without my shirt, they both the
Right.
same. It's just that this one is my stomach, and
Yeah.
I think I had a little rose tattoo. I think that's up under there. And the other one is just an implant. So I always joke that if I, donate my body to science, because my background, I had the honor and the privilege in gross anatomy to actually do a dissection on a woman, on a whole person.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so I just think, I'm like, if I'm ever there and they're going to be like, wait, what is going on?
Something's off. Yeah.
In the stomach in here. What is the belly button?
Yeah. How funny. I love it. So tell me about your writing now. What are you up to?
Oh,
are you writing still? I know you have a day job. I have a day job too, but.
Yes. So I've had, through the pandemic and a decision to go back and get my master's degree, the last couple of years have been a little bananas.
Yeah.
And so I had started working on my MBA July of 2019. And so I just knew I had to kind of come to terms with reality of what I'd be able to get done.
Yeah.
And I usually try to do 2 novels and a novella a year. I'm not super prolific. I cannot write so fast that I can put out a good book a month.
9 books or something.
Yeah, I can't. I just don't, my brain, I would not allow me to do that.
Right.
But I normally try to do like the 2 novels and a novella, but working full time and being a mom and a wife and then my MBA, there was no way to fit all of that in. So I did my breast cancer book in 19. And then in 2020, I did a super fun anthology, Jingle Balls, where the money went to testicular awareness.
Oh, how fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And it got USA Today with that, which was
good.
A great group of women. And then, for 2021, we did it again, but this year we did Tinsel and Tatas, and the funds went to the Young Survival Coalition from out here on the East Coast, which is a local organization that helps support young women survivors with breast cancer.
Yeah.
So got to do that. And then now I just finished my MBA.
Good job. That's awesome.
Thank you. So it feels so good. Like
I bet.
Because, otherwise it's like every day you're working all day and then you're taking care of dinner and doing all these things with your family. And then everybody calms down and I am on my computer until 11, 12, it's every night you just, so
monkey on your back. Yep.
Oh yeah. So it feels so great. And it helped me get the a new day job that I transferred over during the pandemic. My other job had gone away. The company I was working for had to downsize, and we had, not layoffs, but furloughed. We were furloughed. And then for the pandemic, when everything was closing down, I and my kids were home. I ended up doing financial planning where I could work from home and I could hit the ground running and go ahead and start working, because the setup, I was doing that with Northwestern Mutual. The setup they had allowed me to be able to do that and still bring really good work for
right.
But it was an incredible learning experience. It really taught me how to do business via Zoom.
Right.
And really still connect with people in that way, which I absolutely loved. But it just wasn't my heart. Like my heart's in medical, and being able to work in oncology, hematology, any of the cancers was something that was really always something I was trying to get to. Right. And so once I had my MBA and the world started opening back up, now I work with Bristol Myers Squibb, and I'm a senior hematology consultant. So
that's awesome.
I love it. The company's been incredible. And so now my goal for writing is I'm putting together a business plan. We just released the novella for Tinsel and Tatas. I'm doing another super fun one with a really awesome author named Cameron Clare. If you've ever met her, or if you've never met her, she's a 6-foot tall, redhead, just beautiful, wonderful person, smart as a whip, and a lot of fun. So if you ever get to meet her, you'd enjoy her. But it's going to be a fun, short story anthology.
Oh yeah.
And that'll come out in February around Valentine's Day.
And what's the bind there on the anthology? just Valentine's related or just love stories? What is the
Speed
what's the
dating.
secret? What is it?
I know. I don't think it's a secret.
No, I didn't hear you anyway. So if it is, then you can tell me later.
Oh my gosh. If it's a secret, I'm the worst, but I don't think it is.
I didn't
But
hear
what I said a few seconds ago.
Okay, I didn't hear it, so we're still safe.
Oh my gosh. And then I'm going to be jumping back into my on the Cape Van Buren novellas that are in Cape Van Buren out on the coast of Maine.
Right.
And also I've got other stories coming from Malibu, California, in my Scripted for Love series.
Yeah.
I have so many, and I have a couple more. I have Seattle Crush is another series I have set up in Seattle. And I have 2 already written. They just need heavy edits.
Oh yeah.
So I just have to really kind of buckle down and figure out priorities of which one first. But I'm going to take these next few months to finish up that novella that's going to come out and to kind of get my plan. So hopefully this 2022, I can get back to the two full length.
It sounds like you're probably a master at managing your time. I mean, with little kids, I mean, your kids are young still. And then
14 and 15 now.
Oh, so I'm thinking they were like young, like 7, 8 in there.
Not anymore.
No, time passes. Dude, like mine's 25 and 21. Just don't.
That's going to be me.
Yeah.
So the 14 and 15, the hard thing is neither of them are driving yet. We're almost there, and I don't want to rush it. However,
but they want to go.
Well, and there's football and volleyball, and it's every single day. We're just kind of getting to the end of that season, so it's super busy. But
do they want to drive? Are they chomping at the bit?
They do. My daughter she's ready. Like she's going to be, I think at the half year mark, they move from PE class to driver safety.
Yeah, and then they want their permit right there.
Permit, yeah. So
my son's graduating class, they were all like that. They wanted to drive, but the grade before him, so it was graduating year 2018, and then after him 2020, they don't want to drive. The kids just don't care. They're not getting their license. And I'm like, what's going on? Why aren't these kids driving? I couldn't wait till I turned 16. I was like, is it time to go?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Megan, what about you? Were you ready to drive when it was time?
No.
See, something different in California.
My mom got me a car. She got me a Mustang convertible. I did not drive it for a year.
Yeah.
Because I had anxiety about driving, and I had my mom and my Nana to take me places.
Yeah.
They would drop me off at college and kiss me goodbye, and I loved it.
Oh my God.
What an awesome mom.
I did not want to drive.
Mustang convertible?
I
was the youngest of 4, and by the time I got around, they were like, get the hell out. Go that way.
My car was a 1980s Malibu Classic.
Nice.
It was like brown.
Yep.
With a mustard yellow interior.
And they were cracked. The vinyl, was it fun?
It was cloth with lots of questionable stains.
And cigarette burns?
A few, because it had a good cigarette smell in there. But I'll tell you what, freedom. I was so happy.
It didn't matter. Put a blanket down. I had, my first car was in 1976. It was the family vehicle, a 1976 Pontiac Grand Safari. So y'all can just Google that.
Yeah, go Google
it. My friends called it the Battleship, and you'll see why. It was a 10-passenger station wagon.
Oh my
10 passengers. It had 3 rows. It did not, the last row didn't face backwards. We had one of those before it. Have you ever seen those? Like anyone show you? It was crazy. The back row, Megan, faced backwards. It faced out.
That's what they're like.
Yeah, kids getting car sick. Shut up, you're not car sick. Look out the window. We're going backwards. But we would kneel on the seat and face forward. Because who wore a seatbelt?
That's so fun. Oh, well, and I remember we used to we had one of the cars that we had, because I have 3 older brothers. Yeah. They would sit in the back seat. And I'm not kidding, the little ledge that was then
lay up there.
That's where they would put me most of the time if we were going on trips. I'd have a little pillow and blanket, and I'd be laying up. And you think about that now, and it's like,
it's horrifying. Oh my God. I don't even know how we survived, honestly. It gives me I can't breathe just thinking about half the stuff, but we've got fun stories to tell.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, it's so crazy. Oh my gosh. I don't know. How are we doing? Oh, it's right on the 30. So Megan is watching the comments, and then she'll give us questions if people are asking questions.
Yes.
The light went out. It went out early this time.
First of all, everyone, when you were sharing your stories, everyone was saying how inspiring you two are and sending lots of love. So thank you both so much.
Oh,
You're definitely inspiring and you've been through so much.
Thanks.
Second of all, everyone was congratulating you, MK, on your MBA.
yeah, that is so exciting.
I'm so
So
excited.
you'll both have to go through the comments because I can't read every one of them, but I just wanted to let you know that you're both getting lots of love from everybody.
Thank you.
Sending you healing vibes.
Thank you.
For MK, what series do you recommend starting with for a new reader?
People ask that question. It's always so hard because I just love them all. But Love on the Cape, Cape Van Buren. The readers love the town and they love the characters. And Love on the Cape is very, very special to me because it's a very particular story that it has a lot of really funny, sweet parts. It's very steamy, but it's got some hard-hitting, emotional. So my tagline is oh my gosh, an emotional ride on heated sheets. It's a tagline I made years ago, right? But it is so true because my stories are very emotional. They often will make people cry. They'll make them laugh and hope for more. But so I love on the Cape and that whole entire series. However, I have so much fun as well with, I have a series called Tempted Abroad, and it'll be more, but right now it's 2 books, and it's Seducing the Italian Tycoon and Playing the Spanish Billionaire. And they're just so much fun because one of them set in Ferrara, Italy, and I had a friend who lived there and she just enjoyed it so much that the setting is absolutely a character,
Right.
And then that hero is Drago de Luca, and I really like him. And then in Playing the Spanish Billionaire is set in Barcelona, and there's just so much fun there because there's a sex museum and just
fun
things that you can do, play with in those stories. So I guess kind of depending, on what someone's looking for, I would start either with Seducing the Italian Tycoon or Love on the Cape.
So do you say your contemporary romance, that's your genre pretty much? Yeah. Straight across all. Yeah.
It is. And I found that I have a hard time not doing that because even when I did these anthologies, they were with a lot of rom-coms. So I made sure there was a lot of laugh out loud funny in there.
Right.
But my stories still have a whole emotional arc of something they're getting through.
Yeah, I can't go for the gut stabbing. I can't do it. It's got to be, I can't, no. Always, I don't know how to write it anywhere. Yeah.
I think I don't even mean to. The one nice comment that I do get is I don't make it so heavy that you can't keep reading. Even in a breast cancer book, not your usual boob, people would say that there
were funny bits in it.
Right. They would say there were some funny things. I think part of this because I make fun of myself a lot, even if there was some sad stuff. So, but yes, so I would start either of those 2, please.
So much about that whole experience. You have got to keep a light heart because it is crappy. And if you don't just skim over the top of it, I don't know, you're not going to get there. There are days that you're not. I used to go in my closet all the time. This was my place. I'd lay on the floor in my closet and cry. And I've never cried so much in my life. It's just a hormonal journey you're going through.
Yeah.
And then all the stuff that they're doing to you and then crying. And I would lay in my closet and cry. And then when I come out of the closet, and then I would be done. So it was like my place and then out. And so that's how I did. That's like how I had to manage it. It was could cry in the closet and then not cry out of the closet.
Right. You needed an outlet.
Open the door. Yeah, because I couldn't stop crying. So.
And that was, in my book, that was the one thing I ended up getting to where each chapter eventually ended with then step forward.
Yeah, I loved that.
I have that time where you've got to just go cry.
Right.
But then there's no other choice because to me, giving up isn't an option. So you have to move forward, you know.
Right.
And I know that for anybody who hasn't made it or isn't doing well, that's not them giving up. That's just them continuing to step forward in whatever hand they're being dealt.
Right. They're battling.
Right. And then we just hate that that's the hand they're being dealt. My mom didn't make it. She passed away when I was 7. And it's never that she didn't fight hard enough. And that's why I think language, all of us trying to be careful with the language that we use with breast cancer, because people talk about warriors and, oh, you made it, you're so strong. And sometimes, for someone who's not doing well, they can internalize that, or, oh, you don't think I'm fighting?
Right.
When it's not
Right.
the case, we can just lift our heads up and try to keep moving forward. And then what's going to happen is going to happen. We all are all into it. But some days you just got to cry. And then when we're done, we stand back up and take that step forward
Yeah,
again.
you're right.
But and then it goes back to that tribe. Like, you have to have the people that you can go talk to. And that was one thing, I put in the book for anybody out there listening right now, or anybody that that's going through breast cancer, and they're just have questions, or they just want another person to talk to so that they don't feel like they're kind of drowning and exhausting their family. I am easy to message on Facebook.
Right.
My email is mk@mkmeredith.com, and I'm happy to talk through anyone.
I'm talking to a girl in Singapore right now.
That's lovely. That is so
because
lovely.
she's going through it. And
Yeah.
as much as we love our husbands, we love them. There's a part of this they don't understand. There just is. And my husband and son were right there. They were going to the doctor's appointments in the beginning, and they would then go to everyone at the end because it got to be a lot. But
Yeah.
there was just something there that they didn't understand.
Yep.
You
Absolutely.
need women on this one.
Yep.
So-
I absolutely do. So you're out there, I'm out there. If anyone's out there going through it, please reach out to us. We're happy to just talk.
And I've told people too, because one day you're going to mentor someone through this, and then you'll see, and then they will, and that's how we get to do it. That's how you pay it back.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, Megan.
And
You guys
Megan,
are making me want to cry.
I was going to let you can let people know too, that I think I have at least one of my short books for free for anyone who just wants to, get an idea of what my books are like.
Which one is that?
I believe it's Draw You In, and it's part of the Cape Van Buren. So the only thing there is, it will allude to some things that have already happened. Doesn't ruin anything because they're all standalone. But that's just a lot of fun sometimes to be able to grab a book from
A little sample.
someone you haven't read. Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Okay, I think MK, you answered this, but Victoria, you didn't. So what book are you working on now? Rose asked.
I'm working on Elijah's Want. Is that it? Yes, it's the second in their series, in the trilogy of them. That's it. That's the one I'm working on. I was trying. I've been stuck on one chapter for like a week and a half, and I keep going back, and I keep going. I'm like, today I'm not going back. I'm going forward. It's been driving me crazy, but I did finally get through it.
Where is this book located? Like, what's the setting for this?
The series is Shark's Edge, and it's a 15-book series, and this one is 8.
Oh, I love it.
So it's a romantic suspense, and this is my first time doing that, and so it's crazy because you've got this overall arc across the 15, and then there's 5 couples. Each couple has 3 books. So each book has its little arc, and then each couple has its arc of the 3, and then they all come down on this 15 book, and oh my God.
That's a lot to track of, but I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. And on book 4, writing book 4, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And thank God my publisher said, you just get better, we'll wait, just get better. And so I had to take a year off. I couldn't write. And so I did that, and then I came back, and here we are. So
here you are.
Yeah, here we are.
It's funny when you say Elijah. I will admit, and I don't know what everybody else's consensus on this, so it might be just a guilty pleasure, but I recently, at the end of like the pandemic and earlier this year, watched the Vampire Diaries and then the originals.
Oh yeah, and that is Ian Somerhalder, right? That's his guy, right?
And in originals, there's a guy named Elijah, and
I've never seen it, but someone told me, I think before, that was that character's name.
So it's just so as soon as you said it, a lot of characters will give you a feeling. Like I immediately had that feeling that what's his name? Daniel Gillies is who plays Elijah on that.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just, I'm like, oh, Elijah. All right. It's so funny too, because they're, on one aspect, they're horrible people. They are selfish and kill people.
Right.
Not to mention. And then in this other way, they are so loyal and full of love for the people who are a part of their tribe.
Right.
And so protective that the writers, whether people like the stories or not, at least for me, the writers are so good at making you like them anyway. And you might hate yourself for it, but
yeah. How about that? They have these irredeemable characters that you love. And that's good writing. That's
right.
good writing.
It's like, how I should not.
They're literally eating people, and you're like, yes.
I want you to win.
Yes.
Ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Megan.
That's okay.
That's what we're here for. We're having a good
Yes. What's your favorite book to read from shelf for both of you?
favorite.
I know that's a hard one because there's so many. So.
Mine is always, I have the same answer every time. And you would think, because it just came out, the next one came out, but I'm still with, over and over again, I go back to Sinner from Sierra Simone. I love that one.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, it's so good.
Do you know what, you guys, I'm blanking. Oh, all right. I can tell you 2 authors better than a book. I mean, everybody loves Nora. And I'm 46. So that, like, I grew up reading all of them. My very first romance author was Virginia Henley. I read her at 11, and I met her at Reno at Romance Writers of America. And she was mortified that I had read her that young, because she's pretty racy. And I always joke that I learned everything about the birds and the bees through my romance books. But I write contemporary romance, but I love historical. And Victoria Alexander writes snarky. She's snarky humor historical. So I love all of her books. And then what is it? You know, the Cove series by Tessa Adair? I think it's Tessa Adair.
I've heard her name before, but I'm not familiar with the books. It's not something I read. I read Danielle Steele when I was a young 20s. I was in the Navy and, a lot of downtime, and that's what I read with Danielle Steele. They were so formulaic. It was crazy.
Very much, very much. I mean, that was like part of the beginning, right? I keep looking over here because I'm forgetting the authors' names, and I've got.
And she has her books color coded.
Yes, look at that. I like how it looks. Here, because I'm like, what was her? I think that's right. If anybody who's listening to you ever listen or has read those, they'll all know and shame me for not remembering, because most of the people who have read any of the Cove, it's something Cove. I'm forgetting that too.
Treasure Cove or something.
And because my books are color coded, I can't go find them quickly because they're all.
But they look pretty, damn it.
That's goals. That's what I want to have. I keep telling Victoria, I don't have room in my office for a bookshelf, so I feel like left out of the cool kids club every time I see the shelfies and stuff. I'm like, dang it, I want that.
You want to know a secret about this? So I'll show you this bookshelf. It's like big, and it like goes over, and it's got these big shelves over there. I know my lights are the way. Did I just lose you guys?
Nope.
No.
Oh, there you are. Okay, good.
There we are.
And so down on the other side, there's another big section of shelves and cupboards. But if I do this, so my computer's getting old and I need to replace it. But you know how there's Murphy beds?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's so cool. Uh-oh, did we lose you now though?
And then full clean. Am I here? I
You're
still
here,
have
but
you guys.
it's breaking up.
Is that me, Megan, or do you have her?
Well, I see her, but I don't
course.
hear any audio.
No, it's me.
Hopefully
It's me.
back. I can hear you.
I hear you, yeah, but I don't
course.
see you. Maybe the camera will come back on.
I know. Yeah. well, hopefully it will. Can you hear me normally, or is it breaking up?
It's breaking up a little bit.
What happened? What did you move? Maybe the
I'm
wire.
so sorry. I think it's my connection. My, that's what I'm checking. My laptop. I don't know. I'm so sorry. you
No, it's
guys.
fine. Ask me another question in the meantime while she figures it out, Megan. See what you got.
Okay, Carrie Ann wants to know,
Yeah.
are you dressing up for Halloween? And
Mhm.
I would like to know, if you're not, what has been your best costume?
I am not dressing up for Halloween, and my best costume ever, like for, oh, there you are, pretty girl.
You're back.
There you are. My best costume ever, like for Halloween in particular, not at a book signing, was when we went to a Halloween party like for families, and David was a samurai and I was a geisha and Caden was a ninja, and it was awesome because we were all
Oh my gosh.
it was great. And yeah, so that was the best thing because we had the whole family thing going on there. I think we even won a prize. It was really cool. But
That's awesome.
I love that lion tamer costume I had. An angel as a lion. I don't know if you ever seen those pictures, but it was so fun. But that was
That's
just for
so
a book
cute.
signing. Oh, that was Shameless, and they had a circus theme for the big bash they have after the signing on Saturday nights. So that was fun. Smut Gala, that's what that's called. But
That is amazing.
What
What
about
about you, MK?
So I'm not, can you guys hear me okay now?
yeah, perfect.
Okay. I'm not dressing up this year. I have to dress up 2022 because in 2002 and in 2012, I went as Tomb Raider, Laura Croft, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And I still have the same exact outfit. So I told my husband, I'm like, all right, I doubt I can do it for 2032 or 2042, but
Yeah.
2022, I'm determined to pull that back out and wear it one more time.
I love it.
But that was fun. I wore it to like a character costume party at a writers, Pikes Peak Writers in Colorado, have an amazing conference. And I got to wear it there in 2012, and in 2002, I wore it like just with friends. We were at Offutt Air Force Base down in Abilene, Texas.
Yeah.
We were down there. So I think I'm gonna have to do that one.
Fun. That's goals now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pandemic was not good for me and my my body and waistline. I mean, I came right off of breast cancer treatment right into a pandemic, and it was like, oh God.
Yeah, neither is like just, breast cancer treatment in general or post like menopause. So, I've got.
Oh yeah, so it was like a triple threat: breast cancer, turn 50, pandemic, and it was like boom, 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 boom. Okay, I can't anymore. I'm hanging on.
I'll just have to, we'll see what I can do by next October. That's why though I'm like, I don't know that I can hold it up for 2032 or 2042. That's starting to push it. Plus it sounds insane.
It sounds like too much work.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, Stephanie wants to know, for both of you, who in the author world would you like to meet that you haven't yet?
I have my answer. Do you have yours?
No, not yet. Go ahead. But part of
Okay.
it's because when I'm like on the spot, then I have a hard time thinking.
I'm sorry, I know that feeling.
J.R. Ward. Mine's J.R. Ward and Sierra Simone. Because I've not met Sierra Simone in person.
You haven't?
Mm-mm. And I would like to meet her. And I would like to meet J.A. Huss. And well, I've met C.D. Reese, but I'd like to meet her again because I literally just finished her entire backlist.
Nice.
Checked off the last book. And now I'm like, what do I read now? Because that's done. Her books are so good. I just printed out the whole backlist and I went click, 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 click down the whole thing till I was done.
That's awesome.
So good.
So now you need to. Well, maybe she'll get word.
I've met her before, but it was not a long time ago, but when RT was in Vegas, that's when it was.
I will tell you that an author I'd always dreamed of meeting and never thought there's any way in the world I'd ever meet her was, again, because I love historical romance, was Stephanie Lawrence. I used to read every book she ever wrote. I say used to just because it's harder for me to find a time to read everybody I want to now.
Right.
I just have to keep making the time and keep.
Have you tried audio? Everyone's like, oh, here she goes with the audio. Here we go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
I'm a huge proponent of audio.
I haven't a lot, but part of that is because when I've had a lot of driving, I tend to write through dictation.
Mhm.
And so it's like, all right, well then I can either get words
Right.
or read. So I tend to read more like right before I'm going to sleep.
Right.
A lot. So, but I never thought I'd meet Stephanie Lawrence. And then because of our amazing writer world, when I was living in Omaha, Nebraska.
Uh-oh, did it come out again?
My very first writer like chapter local. Is it freezing?
No,
I think you're back.
you're back.
You're back. Okay. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right.
Tried to make sure it was good. Long story short, my first chapter was out of Omaha, Nebraska, and that's when I met Victoria Alexander.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
through that friendship, when we went to an RWA that was out in near Disneyland, California.
Anaheim,
Yes, thank you.
you're welcome.
I got to meet Stephanie Lawrence and Susan Anderson and go hang out with the three of them.
Yeah.
With another amazing writer, Eve Savage, and went and hung out with them for the day in Disneyland.
Oh, how fun.
Like, a dream come true. I was fangirling like you would not believe.
That's like my backyard now, Anaheim.
I knew you guys would know where I was talking about.
But I don't know I don't know what I was going to say, but I'm glad you had that experience. I'm trying to think about fangirling. I had some fangirl. Oh, it was bad last month. Annabelle Joseph. I was like, oh my God, I'm talking to her. It was so funny. But I had just listened to like 4 books of hers. She had this little series together, and oh my God, it's so good and dirty and hot. And I was listening to it like maybe 3 days before, and then there she was, and I was like, oh my God, that's yeah. Oh, I would have been like shaking her if she was here in front of me. I was so excited, but it was fun.
There's another one that I would love to meet someday. I'm blank. I think it's Susan Johansson versus Johnson. I believe it's Johansson. If she's still writing, I'm not exactly sure because I haven't gotten anything recently. But again, with the historical romance, I will tell you what, she taught me the most interesting things to do with strawberries, wine corks, ice.
Wine corks.
Back before I had even had an idea, I was like, oh,
funny.
I never thought of food this way. Okay.
Wine corks, huh? I don't think I've ever read a scene with a wine cork involved. Ever.
I'll have to find the book and tell you which one it is.
Yeah, I'm going to be thinking about that now.
Okay, let's do one more question and then we'll do giveaways.
All right.
Where do you find inspiration for your books?
I will say everywhere. And I know that's such a cheap answer, but seriously, I'm a huge people watcher. And so when I am traveling at airports, at the grocery store, anything, and I'm watching and I see something sweet, or just an interaction between two people, that's where it'll start sparking ideas.
Yeah, same exact thing.
Yeah. And
I'm watching it. It goes right. I'm just out there. It's turning. I'm thinking.
Yep.
Absolutely.
For Love on the Cape, the very main bare concept of that book was because I had seen a commercial for like to buy an island, not a commercial to buy an island, but there was a TV show, almost like those HGTV kind of shows where it was like buy an island and people would go check out the different islands.
Oh yeah. So it was like House Hunters buy an island.
Yeah, it was like that. And that gave me the idea for like the main the kind of like the foundational concept of what was going to pull the hero and heroine together.
Do you know Susan Stoker? She's an author, really popular. She was on House Hunters, the mountain cabin version.
You're kidding me.
She told us all these behind the scenes dirty secrets, and we're like, no, I don't. So I stopped watching the show after that because it fucked up everything for me.
Messed it up.
Yeah, it wrecked it. Ended it all. But it was interesting.
You want to know, but you don't want to know sometimes.
Yeah, you don't want to know. It wrecks it.
That reminds me of, if you guys have ever seen Julie and Julia, the movie. I
love that movie.
I do too. I love it. And so you know how where it's like the danger of meeting your hero?
Uh-huh.
Because when I mean, not giving anything away, I guess, but if you remember toward the end when because of the blog she was doing, she was cooking from Julia Child's cookbook. And was writing this blog about it and everything. And then towards the end, in the movie, when the real Julia Childs heard about what she was doing, she was less than impressed. And so it really hurt the character's feelings because Julia Childs was her hero for everything. And I really liked how the movie handled how she dealt with that. But it's just, that made me think of that, the danger of answering the questions that you have, meeting your heroes, and all that kind of thing.
It would be, but I'm trying to think if I've ever had that experience where, you're looking forward to something so much and then it happens and you're like, well, that was a letdown.
Yeah.
We always call this, my husband and I have this little saying, and you know how you get those with your husband, and then you just have to say that one thing and you know what it means. You've got your little code. And when we took our honeymoon in Las Vegas because we got married in San Diego and it was cheap, and that's, we didn't have any money. And so we went to Vegas and we were all hyped. We were going to go to this water park in Las Vegas. We were young, for one thing, and it sounded like fun. We had no kids, and it was called Wet and Wild, the water park.
Oh yeah,
in Las Vegas. Yeah. And so we were hyped. We're going to Wet and Wild, and I think we did it on like our last full day there. And the whole time we're like, yes, we're going to Wet and Wild. And we got there and it sucked. It sucked. It was small. Mm-hmm. The rides were small. The lines were long. Everything sucked. We were there in July. It was hot as hell because it's Vegas in July. And
oh my goodness.
So now, still to this day, 30 years later, when something sucks, it's not all it was cracked up to be. We're like, it's totally Wet and Wild. We say this about everything. It was Wet and Wild. And it's funny. That's the saying in our house. It was totally Wet and Wild.
That's a cute story. I never heard that one before.
We have a million of them because we've been together a really long time. So I'm so glad you came today. Did you bring something to give away? I'm pulling my pants up.
I have this, if you guys, the lighting is kind of weird. This.
Oh, look at it. I like her little outfit. It's cute.
Pencil and Tatas. It is 18. It's a Mamba Jamba book. It is 18 holiday rom-coms.
Oh, fun.
And they are all like the foundation, the link is that they all are around this Tinsel and Tata's like games and galas to raise money for breast cancer. But they're all around the holiday season. It's a ton of fun. I think you guys will really, really love it.
All right.
My book, Wreath This Ring. Instead of With This Ring, Wreath This Ring is in here, and a lot of fun and a lot of other great authors. So
all right,
I send this to whoever wins.
How fun.
Amazing.
All right.
What about you, Victoria? Let's see.
I have two things. First of all, I'm just doing a book of their choice. The only one I don't have is I believe it's No Broken Bond. I don't have Book Boyfriend. Hang on, I need to get my glasses because this is important to tell with this. I have also, whoever gets the book gets these. It's a pack of masks. There's 7 of them in here. They are the N95 masks. And what makes these special is all of the proceeds, no, not all the proceeds, 10% of each mask is going to Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And what's cool, they have these little bags. I'm not going to open it because you want to have this intact when you get it. Each mask is in its own bag, and this package and the bag that the mask is in is biodegradable. And so it's completely trash free here, which is really cool. And then on each mask, they have a little coordinate, a north-south, like a compass point. And these are, I think it's called the Tree of Hippocrates. And that is, it's in Greece, and it's where they say he used to teach his students. That's the thing that the doctors take, the Hippocratic Oath. And so they take parts of that tree and put it all around the world at medical colleges and stuff. I didn't know that. I thought that was pretty cool. So it's the masks, and they're really neat, and they're pink, duh. So I think it's fun. And
that is fun. That's really cool.
I like that they're giving the money to breast cancer research, of course.
Yeah.
and that there's no trash because my God, the trash.
All right. Well,
Great.
Amy has been watching with us and helping to choose the winners. So for Victoria, the winner is Stephanie.
All right, Stephanie.
And for MK, it's Carrie Ann.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yay!
Yay.
Congratulations. I hope you love it.
Thanks
So
for
Amy or I
coming.
will be in touch with you after this to get your winnings.
Perfect. I was gonna say, so are you gonna let me know how to get this to Carrie Ann?
Yes.
All right. I love it. And I love connecting. So anybody who wants to connect online,
Yeah, find her.
I know that, yeah, you guys
do
will.
do they have your socials so we can put it up on the chat? So
Yes, I have
Oh,
all her socials so we can
Perfect.
put it up.
oh God, I thought it was falling.
Cool. I love it. You guys, this has been so amazing. Thanks for inviting me. And
Thanks
it was
for coming.
to be able to speak with you, Victoria. I absolutely adore you. You know that. So much
I
respect
love you
and
too.
love. And
I can't wait to hug you. It's
I
gonna
know,
happen.
same, absolutely same. And Megan, you are a doll. Thank you so much for reaching out and for thinking of me. And I was really, really happy to be here. And someday I hope I get to hug you too.
Oh,
Gonna happen.
Thank you so much for coming on. It was so nice to speak with you and virtually meet you.
Thank you so much. And you guys just let me know if the good thing for me to do is just to pop out.
Yep, we just disconnect. Everyone says goodbye.
Look at that.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See
Bye.
you next month.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.